So I just learned a couple of things about impedance. This Z stuff. This is essentially going to be imaginary resistance that we find in a circuit. Um, the circuit's going to have different parts to it, so you might have an LC circuit, RLC, or RC, RL, whatever. A couple different parts. So you want to sort of figure out these two things specifically, mainly, is going to be XL and XC. So if you know the frequency of the current here, of the voltage, usually it comes from these types of equations here. It might be given to you. You could find W by calculating 1 divided by the square root of LC. Um, and then you can use the inductance or the capacitance, and you're going to calculate these two values. So then you look at the circuit you have, and you ask, okay, are we in series? Are we in parallel? And that's not really going to be um, maybe the value that's most useful. You probably want to calculate the magnitude. So that was kind of what was important for me to realize. You got to calculate the magnitude of the impedance over here. And if you had the series or the parallel, well, this is how you can calculate the magnitude, because this is going to be essentially the imaginary component, and then we have the real component. So this is kind of like a complex number. That's why it's called Z. So now you calculate the magnitude, uh, and then you kind of want to plug it into this equation. You can figure out Emax or Imax based off the magnitude of the impedance. So this is how we can sort of deal with impedance, or admittance, if you want to say. I believe is going to be the inverse of impedance here. And a couple more equations that might help us define the voltage maximums for the resistor, inductor, capacitor. As you can see, XL and XC components of Z is the impedance, and these are sort of reactants over here. These are the components. There's the phase angle. So yeah, it's just a couple of things. This is essentially the main thing I wanted to focus on was the impedance right here, and well, this just makes a lot more sense to me. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and